Welcome to the 2024 Habitat House Party. Please move to your seats. Our program is about to begin. Welcome to the 2024 Habitat House Party, celebrating 40 years of building homes and hope for New York families. Right now, put your hands together for Industrial Rhythm. Thank you, Industrial Rhythm. And now, your host for the 2024 Habitat House Party, award-winning media personality, entrepreneur, and philanthropist, Angela Yee.
Wow. What a way to start the night, right, guys? Give it up one more time. That was amazing. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Habitat House Party. We are celebrating 40 years of transforming lives and communities tonight. 40 years, and I hate to say it, but Habitat, that means you're about due for a midlife crisis, or maybe perimenopause. But the best part about a midlife crisis, if you do it right, it can be an amazing time of self-reflection, discovery, and growth. And Habitat, you better reflect on what you have accomplished in 4 decades. Building and preserving homes, engaging communities, creating safety, security, health and wealth that gets passed from generation to generation, and we love to see it. Affordable, sustainable housing means a lot to me personally, and I'm as invested in this issue as you are. This all started with my mom, who actually worked with Habitat in New Orleans. I was born and raised in Brooklyn. We are everywhere. But I also have a lot of love for the city of Detroit, where I spent a lot of time working in the beginning of my career with M&M. And last year, I bought a 30-unit building in Midtown Detroit. It's a wonderful neighborhood in the D, what up, though? And 14 of those units will be affordable. And we have also allocated some of those units for formerly incarcerated women, giving them the dignity that they deserve. And today is a really special day. We just passed final inspections, and literally earlier today, we got our certificate of acceptance. So it is great for me to be here. While this is a good investment opportunity, for sure, Detroit is definitely on the up and up right now. But for me personally, I'm grateful to be able to make a difference in these phenomenal women's lives. And I know you all feel the same way. We actually had 2 callers spontaneously phone into my show today and last week and detail how Habitat helped them and their families with housing and how that changed their lives. Habitat has been doing this essential work for the past 40 years in New York City and Westchester, laying literal and figurative foundations for thousands of hardworking New Yorkers. Tonight, you'll meet some of the homeowners whose lives have been changed by that work, and housing justice champions from here in New York and around the globe who are fighting for the same mission. Get a sneak peek at our plans for the evening by downloading our digital program from our website at habitatnycwc.org/program. And to access tonight's live auction, or of course to make a donation, scan the QR code on the back of your seating card or on the screens and on the signage around the room. And guys, it does take just a second to register. And please make sure you post about our event, especially if you're having a fabulous time. Use the hashtag HabitatHouseParty, hashtag HabitatHouseParty, to tag your posts so we can see them and also reshare them. Tonight, we're all about building foundations for the future. Let's celebrate this beautiful organization, the families who partner with them, and all of you in this room who make housing justice possible. Here's to 40 years, and 40 more after that, and 40 more after that, and you see where this is going. Right now, I would like you to meet the board chair of Habitat NYC in Westchester, Anthony Montalto.
Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch.
I'm going to go down a little bit. It's so great to be here with everyone tonight. Thanks so much for the support. We also want to give special thanks to our foundation builder sponsors, our groundbreaker sponsors, and our roof raiser sponsors as well with Wells Fargo for making this night possible. Thank you so much. I am happy to be here to celebrate 40 years of Habitat's critical work and to officially welcome Sabrina Littman as our CEO. I've known Sabrina since she served as Habitat's VP of Resource Development when I was at the ASHRAE Technical Society. I asked her, how can I support Habitat's work? And she said very simply, how about you get on our board? Right when I joined, she left for NYC EDC, sad face, where she oversaw 64 million square feet of real estate portfolio, managed a 300 million annual revenue program, and secured 375 million in public subsidies for redevelopment projects. Before that, she also held major leadership roles at real estate firms like Westfield, Cushman & Wakefield, and Simon Property Group. Last summer, I was on the PATH train, heading home, and who do I see? Sabrina. She waves at me at the doors as they're closing and says, I'll message you on LinkedIn. And unlike a lot of people who say they'll message you on LinkedIn, she did. We met for lunch and where we talked about our passion for Habitat. I asked her, would you ever come back? It was clear that she loved her job at NYC EDC, but she missed the opportunity to change lives and futures every single day. When the board started our search for a new CEO earlier this year, a light bulb went off in our mind. We already had the perfect candidate in Sabrina. That moment on the PATH train was not so random. The universe brought her back to us right when we needed her. I am proud to welcome my friend, the CEO of Habitat NYC and Westchester, Sabrina Lippman.
Wow. Thank you so much, Anthony. We are so lucky to have your leadership. From that PATH train ride to standing here in this gorgeous venue with the voice of New York as our MC. Give it up for Angela Yee. Whew. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being a part of this incredibly special night. It's so great to see so many familiar faces and to be back with you. Tonight is about celebrating the power of home and the strength of community. Every family that we have worked with for the past 4 decades has a story. And tonight, you will see how much their journeys matter, how having an affordable home has transformed their lives and our communities for generations. It's a moment that resonates deeply with me, not just as CEO, but as someone who understands the profound impact of having a place to call your own. I grew up in Jackson Heights, Queens, in a hard-working immigrant family. And when we were able to get a home of our own, it changed our lives. It created a stability and a future we never dreamt possible. But tonight isn't about my story. It is about the thousands of families who are still waiting for that same chance. It is about the work we are doing together to open those doors for them. From 1984, when our most beloved volunteer, President Carter, swung his hammer in the Lower East Side, and for the 40 years thereafter, Habitat for Humanity, New York City and Westchester has been building more than just homes. We have been building hope and creating pathways for families and neighborhoods to thrive. Listen, at the core, the true beauty of our city lies in its combination of classes and cultures that create the rich tapestry we experience on every single New York City block. To perpetuate that diversity and to preserve that rich culture, we need to make sure that we have permanent, affordable places and spaces for working class families. And together, we are fighting to ensure that our teachers, our healthcare workers, delivery drivers, and so many hardworking New Yorkers who keep this city running day in and day out have a permanent place here. We are preserving the character and diversity of our neighborhoods, making sure that everyone has a stake in the future of our city. I am so grateful and in awe to be standing here today, to be leading this organization, particularly at this pivotal moment because the housing crisis touches us all, and the need for safe, decent, and affordable homes has never been greater. I mean, did you know that today we have the lowest vacancy rates since 1968 at 1.4%, and the average rent is topping $4,000 a month? This is not sustainable. And to truly address this challenge, we need a wide array of housing solutions to match the diverse needs of our region. One that includes more supportive housing, more rental options, and yes, particularly and especially homeownership. Because you see, the benefits of affordable homeownership extend way beyond that home. Not only does it provide for better and stronger economic stability in our region, it is proven to result in stronger education outcomes, increased civic and social engagement, better health and safety, and a reduced environmental footprint. So this is the time to build coalitions. This is the time to find our commonalities. My vision for Habitat is to unite ourselves around a shared purpose, to show that it is possible to lift all boats, that one stakeholder doesn't have to lose for the other to win, finding common sense solutions to get us out of this crisis. And I can tell you, from being on the public side with New York City's Economic Development Corporation, government cannot do it alone. And from being on the private side in commercial real estate, the industry cannot do it alone. We need to build a broader coalition where everyone has a seat at the table. So as we chart a course for the future, our approach at Habitat is fully comprehensive. Not only are we building and partnering on single and multifamily housing developments, we're expanding the traditional model of our work to include preservation efforts, providing technical assistance, low-interest financing, and home repairs that keep families in their homes and these neighborhoods affordable and vibrant. We are bringing together government, industry, and community partners to find solutions that address the housing crisis from all angles. And I'll tell you what, Habitat is uniquely positioned to bring these diverse voices together and to that table. I am so excited to share with you tonight that this past year alone, we have served more than 2,000 families and households. And even more exciting yet, we aim to serve at least 1,000 families every year moving forward. This marks a new era for Habitat, one where we are scaling our efforts to meet the growing need. But please do not be mistaken. This can only be made possible with your support. We operate independently and fundraise only locally within the 5 boroughs in Westchester County. So this is truly about New Yorkers helping their neighbors. And there are several ways that you can help tonight. Bid on one of our auction items or donate using our QR code. Come volunteer with us, advocate for policy change. And if you have another way we can work together, please reach out. Because with you, we can continue to pioneer new approaches to home ownership, preservation, and community development, extending our impact even further. I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible dedication of my staff and our volunteers. They are here tonight. They are the heart and soul of Habitat, driving the success of our mission every single day. And to our board, partners, and supporters, your commitment to us and finding innovative ways to serve families is what makes Habitat so special. Thank you for the work you do to make a real difference. In closing, yes. In closing, and as you will hear tonight, this work transforms lives. And you can see that transformation in every home we build, every renovation we complete, and every family we serve. Because when you support Habitat, you're leaving your mark on this city, shaping its skyline, its neighborhoods, and the futures of generations to come. So now let's celebrate some housing champions who have made their mark, our 2024 honorees. Let's take a look.
Quality of life is really the essential. If we don't have a quality of life, what is it all for?
Hay que ver solamente cómo se transforma la vida y la calidad de vida de esas familias a las que servimos a través de una vivienda.
I don't know how you can build a life and get the education you need and have the opportunities if you don't have that important part of security and safety and the reassurance of a home.
We actually need every single tool we can bring to bear, every human capital hour, and every dollar and cent that we can to turn and stem the tide of this housing crisis.
I lead the first women majority city council body in the history of the city of New York. We want to make sure that there is safe housing, affordable housing, that people actually have neighbors that they can depend on, like the neighborhoods that I grew up in right here in Southeast Queens. I did pass a significant piece of legislation. It's the Fair Housing Framework Act. And that legislation actually mandates all sections of New York are actually responsible for building and fostering affordable houses. 5 years ago, I stood in front of one of the homes that were being built in my district, in District 28. I stood there in a boot from my foot to my knee and a hard hat and a Habitat t-shirt. Being a part of that experience as a council member for this district and now being an honoree, I feel like such an integral part of this organization already, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
Y ya hoy día llevo 22 años trabajando a favor de las familias en condiciones de vulnerabilidad. Mira, la importancia de Hábitat en el trabajo allá en República Dominicana es vital y es muy importante, debido a que hoy día el déficit habitacional en el país ronda más de 1.400.000 unidades. Mi paso en el trabajo con Hábitat para la Humanidad República Dominicana ha sido mi mayor experiencia de vida en el sector social, porque he tenido la oportunidad de apoyar, fortalecer esa relación con las familias que viven en condiciones de vulnerabilidad porque no tienen un techo digno. Realmente yo me siento muy contenta y agradecida del afiliado de Nueva York y Westchester en una comunidad como esta, que hay millones de dominicanos.
After about 15 years of being a lawyer, I wanted to do something that had purpose. And a friend at the time had suggested looking into the Habitat Global Village program. At the end of each build, there's a dedication ceremony. It's just very rewarding to see that and to know that the impact that you make, it really is lasting. One of my partners was a member of the board of the LA affiliate. He put me in touch with the then CEO of Habitat in New York. He actually mentioned at the time that they were about to do a build in the Dominican Republic and invited me to join. Soon after that build, that they invited me to join the board, and the rest is history. I look forward to the day when I could take my oldest son on his first Global Village build.
First became involved with Habitat for Humanity doing volunteer work. But this is now a 30-plus year relationship. We're now engaging beyond home ownership and landing into this space around environmental equity, trying to make sure homes are energy efficient, that homes are cost efficient. What keeps me focused in this work is that we still have need. It outweighs every resource that we can bring to it. This goes beyond just funding. This is even the human capital resources we bring to it. Why housing? For me, I have a personal connection to it. Really, I start to think about the housing insecurity that I suffered and worked through during my own childhood. It's affected me deeply, and every single turn of life continues to draw me closer to housing. Habitat for Humanity and I are kindred spirits.
Habitat for Humanity means to me community, caring, and overall counsel, if you will.
Hábitat para la Humanidad es vivienda, salud, estabilidad, autosuficiencia.
Habitat for Humanity is partnership par excellence.
Habitat for Humanity is home.
I should have brought my phone up here to take this picture. You have no idea how special and what a good-looking audience you all are. My goodness. Please, let's give our big hand to our first honoree, City Council Speaker Adrienne Adams. Speaker Adams helped secure $140 million for the Homes Now, Homes for Generations campaign, which doubled the funding for the Open Door Home Ownership Program and revived the Neighborhood Pillars Initiative. She has recently introduced a bill requiring 6% of city-financed homes to be affordable home ownership, advanced zoning amendments to unlock housing supply, supported the rehabilitation of homes, and helped pave the way for our upcoming LGBTQ+ affirming development for seniors. She joins us today after 2 straight days of City of Yes for Housing Opportunity public hearings to unlock and increase our housing supply. Congratulations, Speaker Adams. Our next honoree I like to consider him a personal close friend. I am so thrilled to see that he has brought generations of his family tonight, and a big shout out to Mr. Franklin and Mr. Franklin. Ron co-heads the corporate finance group and leads the fund finance practice at ProScour. And he has generously contributed and helped secure over $400,000 in funding to advance our mission here locally. As an incredibly valued member of our board of directors, Ron's thoughtful leadership has been a guiding force for all of us. You'll also find him rolling up his sleeves to work on local Habitat build sites and volunteering abroad with Habitat's Global Village program. From Nepal to Mozambique, Thailand, and India, I even had the honor to build alongside Ron in the Dominican Republic. And I have to say, I think his favorite part of that were the super frias, which are the cold Dominican beers, but he worked very hard for those. And I truly admire his commitment to this mission locally and abroad. Congratulations, Ron. And now we move on to Cesarina Fabián, a fellow Dominicana. Cesarina's leadership has impacted communities in DR and beyond. She fostered the valuable partnership between Habitat New York City and Westchester and Habitat República Dominicana that embodies our theme for tonight, 40 years of foundations for the future. Right now, Habitat República Dominicana's program, 100,000 Pisos para Jugar, they are working hard to replace 100,000 dirt floors with concrete, bringing major health benefits to those local families. And a little spoiler alert that tonight, during our live auction, you will get a chance to travel to the Dominican Republic to build alongside Cesarina and myself to build and help with Habitat República Dominicana. Felicidades, Cesarina. And last but most certainly not least, Wells Fargo, represented tonight by Mr. Stacey Span. Wells Fargo and the Wells Fargo Foundation has donated more than $136 million to Habitat for Humanity International and local affiliates. And since 2006, Wells Fargo has supported us right here in New York with substantial funding and hundreds of volunteers. The Wells Fargo Builds initiative has helped transform vacant and dilapidated houses into our beautiful Habitat Net Zero development, a mix of both new and rehabilitated green homes. Thank you so much, Stacey. Wow, thank you all and congratulations. Before we break for dinner, I've got a really special one for you. Tonight, we are also reminded that none of this work would be possible without our volunteers. They are the heartbeat of our mission. They turn compassion into action, giving the most of all of our precious resource, the most precious resource, time. I am so honored to present this year's Volunteer of the Year, Brownsville's own Vernice Walters. Vernice partnered with Habitat. She engaged homeowners at our seed development in Brownsville, Brooklyn, with a gardening project in their common space. The plan was to get the garden beds back in good shape, and even more than that, foster a connection between the new homeowners and the local community leaders. Vernice dedicated herself to the task. She helped us organize and host a planning session with the homeowners where she answered all of their gardening questions, offering them lots of practical knowledge and the confidence of knowing that they had her support. Spurred on by her green thumb and a very joyful attitude, planting day was a total hit. Homeowners were there, their friends and family came, they enjoyed lunch together, and they collectively planted pretty much all of the gardening beds. Vernice is now a very proud member of our Habitat family. And just as this garden grows, so does her connection with Habitat and our homeowners. We are so proud to honor Vernice Walters as our Volunteer of the Year.
This is going to be new. I have a teleprompter. We don't have those in the garden. And so I have a paper, but they assured me that I could take my time, but be quick. So you heard my name, Vernice. I was told to say it again because most of the time people hear Bernice. That's what I heard for a lot of years, till I went to school, and the teacher said, your name is not Bernice, it's Vernice. Right? So I'm going to start over. That was just a little icebreaker for me to get comfortable. So, yeah. Well, okay, so this recognition, it's a testament of the collective spirit of giving, building, and growing that we all share. I want to thank the board, the sponsors, Monique and Charlotte Bell for their support. I'd like to acknowledge my very good friend that came here with me. She was my hype girl. She's more excited than I am and checked in on me and again, and you did this, do that, talk to that one. And so that's why I am talking more than what I should be. But and I was supposed to say at this point that I wanted to acknowledge my lovely granddaughter, Lyric, who is with me this evening for her love and support. I'm going to say it even though she's not here. So she stood me up, but I'm going to say it. And I want her to hear me say it to you, so she could feel even worse. But, but I also would really like to say happy belated 100th birthday to Jimmy Carter. God bless you. That was my introduction to Habitat for Humanity. I was into Jimmy Carter. And my sister-in-law in Lower Manhattan actually got an apartment and was building the apartment. And I just thought that was so amazing. And so my antennas went up, and I've always loved this organization for what it does. You know, at its core, Habitat of Humanity, it embodies the principles that a home is more than a structure. It is the foundation of stability, safety, and growth. Similarly, our work in community gardens align with that vision. Through our gardens, we cultivate more than food. We nurture connections that empower individuals to feed themselves and their communities. Likewise, the community garden movement, as championed by New York City's Green Thumb, it shares those same values. We recognize that access to green spaces and fresh food is a fundamental part of a healthy, thriving community. The core principle of Habitat, which brings people together, are principles that I bring in everything I do. It's a privilege to work alongside so many individuals who dedicate their time and energy to help others. And I share this award with all volunteers, with my fellow gardeners and everyone in the community who has joined alongside us along the way. As Habitat for Humanity celebrates 40 years of building homes, and we continue to work in the gardens, let us remain focused on what's really at the heart of it: people. We build hope, unity, and a future in which everyone thrives. Thank you again for this incredible recognition.
Well, thank you so much to Bernice. Did y'all love Bernice like I did? We are about to take a break for dinner, and when we come back, you'll meet homeowners whose lives and families have been changed for the better with help from Habitat. And of course, you'll get a chance to support this essential work. But first, Rabbi Lisa Rubin from Central Synagogue is here to bless our meal.
Good evening. I so appreciate being with you for this milestone 40th anniversary. Our two organizations, Central Synagogue and Habitat for Humanity, have shared a very close relationship since 1990. Central families have fulfilled the Jewish imperative to repair the world through countless opportunities that Habitat for Humanity has afforded us as volunteers. Not only do we value standing with you and physically building, but your spiritual mission to fight housing inequality and injustice aligns with our greater goals of making the world a more equitable and fair place. How auspicious that we gather tonight during the Jewish holiday of Sukkot, a holiday which embodies the very themes of housing insecurity and vulnerability. As part of the holiday's origins, it is described in the book of Leviticus that our community, for 1 week, would move out of our permanent homes and live in temporary outdoor structures in memory of a time when our ancestors made their exodus from Egypt and wandered in the desert for 40 years. Sukkot is meant to evoke a time of that homeless wandering, a time when our ancestors prayed for protection, shelter, and security, not so different from the defining threads of what makes Habitat so vitally important, working on behalf of the vulnerable and bringing hope to so many. Our prayers tonight, I'm guessing, are intermingled, that the next 40 years might be one of continued progress, growth, partnership, and planning. May you all be blessed in doing God's work in the next chapter of Habitat for Humanity's life. And of course, that you'll enjoy tonight's fun and festivity. In Judaism, our prayer before the meal is called the Motzi. If you know it, please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen, and thank you.
You say you're fine, I know you better than that. Hey, what you best of times, the worst of crimes. I struck a match and blew your mind, but I didn't mean it, and you didn't see it. The ties were black, the lies were white, in shades of gray and candlelight. I wanted to leave him, I needed a reason.